Perspective is a really big thing for me. I always try to go to the North Stars. I call them the muses, and draw inspiration from them, because there's nothing new under the sun. Everything's been done before. It might be a different field or whatever the case may be, but things tend to replicate themselves. So me not being able to perform because of my Achilles and old age, I drew a lot of inspiration from the fact that Beethoven was not supposed to compose the Ninth Symphony while being legally deaf. I would say that not being able to hear and compose the Ninth Symphony is probably a bigger challenge than playing basketball on 1.5 legs.
Well done, man.
Thank you.
Let's start the interview. Who are you?
Who am I?
Yeah.
I don't even know the answer to that question.
Well, that's sad.
I'm Mark.
Yeah. What do you do?
I'm a coach at Strength Camp, the Strength Camp in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I do lots of other things as well. I make my bed every morning. I feed stray cats sometimes. And I lift weights.
You went pretty smooth on this one.
Huh?
You went pretty smooth compared to those other.
Yeah, that was on camera. I have to.
Yeah.
This girl at the time, and I told her I wanted to go down to Florida, fly down to Florida, pay $600 for the weekend, pay for my hotel, pay for the airplane, all just to meet Elliot and Chris and kind of experience Strength Camp because it impacted me so greatly. And she was like, you probably shouldn't do that. It's kind of a waste of money. It was over $1,000 I spent to come for one weekend. And so I had that in my head the whole time. I was like, it's going to be a waste of money. I already know how to squat. I know how to deadlift. I know how to do all these things we're going to learn. And I'd always go on my computer and go to the sales page for it and almost sign up for it and then not. And one time I was sitting there and I was going to sign up for it. I was like, I can't do it. I don't have my credit card with me. And then I looked down, back to the mouse, to get off the page, and my credit card and my wallet was just sitting right there in front of me. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I just do it? If that's my excuse, I may as well do it. So I did it. I came down here, met Chris and Elliot, which was awesome. Chris and I got along really well right off the bat. And we just got to talking. And as soon as I came to Strength Camp, it was just such a positive, empowering place. You'd have an idea and you talk to someone about that idea and they'd be like, yeah, man, you should definitely do that. And here's how I can help you. And I'd never experienced that before. So as soon as I got here, or to the old gym, I just felt like I needed to come back. There was just something in me that told me I had to come back and help out in whatever way I could. And since then, I stayed in contact with Chris and Elliot through email and Facebook, just talking to Chris back and forth, mostly Chris. And I just kept bothering him, saying, I wanted to do an internship. And he just kept saying, oh, we're not offering it at this time. I'll keep you posted, blah, blah, blah. But I always knew that I was going to come down and help out. And then I was getting kind of burnt out from personal training, so I decided to do forest firefighting, which was you had to pay a lot of money to do this course. You weren't really guaranteed a job, but I wanted to do it really bad. So I did that, did the course, called people for a month straight until someone gave me a job, which was awesome. But it was also the same week Chris linked up with me and told me they had internships opening up, and he was wondering if I wanted to do it, which I did, but I couldn't do it. So I did the forest firefighting for a season, which was amazing. And then that first wave of interns, some of them turned out well, but none of them really stayed on except for Cole. And once that was over, I came down in the next group of interns, which was just me and Shannon at that time. And yeah, ever since then, I've just been working at the gym. So we moved out of the old gym and then into the new gym within like 2 weeks of me arriving. And it's been kind of like a crazy ride ever since then.
Good. Now, can you tell a story about from a Olympic lifting competition?
Oh, yeah, the very first Olympic lifting competition I did was like 2 months into starting training for Olympic lifting, weightlifting, and I'd never really done a full snatch or a full clean and jerk before, just because the program was really well structured and they were taking their time with us, but they also told us to compete as soon as we could. So I went to the MIA Classic in Fort Lauderdale, and I went with my friend Jibbin, and he was like, or I was like, oh man, like, do you think there's gonna be anyone weaker than me there? Like, am I gonna be the worst one? And he's like, nah, man, like, there's gonna be a lot of lifters, a lot of people weaker than you, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, okay, this is cool. Then I went, and I got there, and we were all writing down our starting numbers, and I looked at, like, the start list. Everyone writes down what weight they're starting their snatch with, and I was starting with, like, 65 kilograms. And the next guy was, like, 95 or 100, so I was, like, by far the weakest person there, by far, like, not even close. And they go in order, so, like, guy lifting 65 will go, next guy 70, next guy 75. But for me, since I was lifting the lightest, I had to go all 3 lifts in a row.
In a row, yeah.
So I hit my first lift, 65, with these lame blue plates, lifting the blue plates still. And then I went for 70 on my next one, missed it. Then I went for 70 again, and I hit it, which was cool. Felt really good.
You never hit that much?
What's that?
Never hit that much in your life
A
before?
couple times I had, not really though, not full off the floor. And then I remember warming up.
So that was a PR for,
Yeah.
at that point?
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. And I remember warming up next to this guy, and he was like, he was talking to another guy next to us, and they were just like talking like, oh, what are you opening at? And he was like 120, which is like, I think 264 pounds. And I was starting with like 135.
Oh, Josh is not insane kilos.
Yeah, so it was a really humbling experience, and it just kind of showed me like what level I could get to if I keep working at it, and it was really necessary. Like, it's a weird feeling being the weakest person at an event and knowing you're gonna lose. It's not a good feeling and not one I wanted to repeat. But I feel like as a coach and as an athlete going into the future, I'll just be that much more valuable for people because like as I get better and better, I can always relate back to people who are starting because I started from like a very low level. I've had to work my way up to where I'm at right now, which is not where I want to be, but I'm getting better. So yeah, that was my first weightlifting meet, and it was very traumatic, and I may or may not have cried a couple times, but yeah, it was good. It was a good time.
Great story, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next question is you were talking about that you had this calling that you want to help other people, to fulfill their dreams and help them becoming stronger, by training and all that stuff. And you could be a coach, which you are right now. So you said you came to strength camp, and this place was like a place that you felt like encouraged. Nobody would say like, "Oh, this is a bad idea." You felt encouragement, like you have idea, yo, let's do it.
Yeah.
What would you say for someone who is not here and doesn't have that encouragement? How do he can get that encouragement and set goals and become one step closer to
Well,
his goals?
the answer is in your question. Set goals.
Yeah.
I guess that's
How to set goals.
That's one thing.
Yeah. How would you, your advice, how to set goals?
That's something that I would say I've struggled with really, because every time I have set goals, I've been able to reach them. But I think it's one thing I heard recently was when you're setting your goals, unless you set a goal that's really, really big and a goal that people will probably tell you like you probably can't do that, then you're selling yourself short, because you don't really, when you set like a lower goal, it's not something you really want, you know what I mean? But you just set it because you think you can achieve it, and then you don't have that motivation to get to it. So something I've been thinking about.
Like a small goal wouldn't make a big of difference.
Yeah, it's kind of like, it's like if you, to use the analogy, like you have a daughter and she wants a pony for Christmas. And instead of a pony, you're like, well, that's unrealistic, we can't get her a pony. We're gonna get her a gerbil instead, which is easier to take care of, like all these, there's good reasons for doing it. It's cheaper, blah, blah, blah. So you get her a gerbil. She's gonna be like, kind of happy about it, but she'd much rather have that pony, you know what I mean? So when you set goals, get a pony. Ask for a pony, you know what I mean?
Set them high.
Set them high, yeah. Because if you don't, then you're just selling yourself short, and you're not gonna have that same desire to get them. So yeah, I think that's important. Also finding someone who is supportive of you, like we offer online coaching at Strength Camp. Myself, Shannon, and John, and we're able to kind of give that positive feel and give that positive vibe and advice, and just listen to people, our online clients, and I feel like that helps them a lot. I know it helped me too. So yeah, just find someone who's going to support you and also set big goals. I don't know, it's pretty standard. I feel like everyone says that, you know. But there's truth to it.
Last question was about goals for other people. What are your goals right now? Not say in this moment, I guess it's to snatch this, right?
I just snatched it.
Yeah. But besides that, like your life goals, what are?
I do have goals. I don't like sharing them with people, just because I feel like that they've done studies where they found that when you share a goal with someone, you tell someone what your goal is, it kind of tricks you into thinking that you've already achieved it, so you get that same feeling of satisfaction, and then you have less of a desire to go after that goal. You feel like you've already done it. So that's like people are always saying like, oh, my New Year's resolution is to go to the gym every day this week and eat healthy and blah, 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 hydrate well, and they feel in their mind like, damn, like I'm good, you know what I mean? Like I already achieved my goal. And then they just stop doing it because they've already got that feeling of achievement. So for me, I like to keep them to myself just because, I don't know, not that I feel like it's bragging to tell people your goals, but I just feel like there's no benefit to telling people your goals. Why do they care?
Well, sometimes, you know, you have to tell your goals because...
To YouTube? Why am I gonna
No,
tell
no,
YouTube?
no. Not because of that, because
I think it keeps you accountable.
you have to explain why are you doing something, and then people can help you achieve that in those kind of scenarios.
Well, no one on YouTube is gonna help me. Lift the weights for you.
Yeah.
I can't eat good food for you.
They gotta do it.
I can't stop myself or stop you from laying on the couch. Like it's on you. And
Yeah, you're not the student who fills in the work, you're the teacher who teaches, right?
yeah, and I feel like your example is a lot of times teaching someone enough. Like they can see they have it in them, they'll do it.
If they don't.
If they don't, they don't.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm not gonna cry over it. It's your life.
Yeah.
You know?
I learned that too. Like,
But
help someone so much.
Yeah, I remember when I first wanted to be a trainer, I asked my friend Pete, I went out for lunch with him just to ask him questions about what it was like being a trainer, like what to expect, where to start, all these things. I just wanted to have some advice. And he told me, I asked him what's the hardest thing about being a trainer or coach, and he said, oftentimes you will want people to achieve their goals more than they want to. So they come in and they tell you all their goals, like, oh, I want to lose 50 pounds, I want to run a 5K, I want to do all this stuff, and you're like, fuck yeah, like, that's awesome, like, let's do that, and you want to help them, but then, for them, they don't really, they don't want it, yeah, they don't mean it, or maybe they already feel like they've done it because they told you, and then, when they don't do all the things they have to get to that goal, then you feel like you failed, when really,
Or they blame it on you.
or they blame it on you, yeah. For sure, and then, yeah, so...
We had that conversation the other day about that girl from online coaching, right?
Yeah, really, in the end, well, that goes back to, like, programming and choosing a program, and really, you could have the shittiest program in the world, like a really bad program, but if you do it really hard, you're consistent, you bring intensity to it, you do everything you're supposed to on that program, you're going to get results. People are always looking for like the best program, the perfect program for them, but really there's no such thing. Just start, just do it consistently over a long period of time. For sure. That's what it is. But, yeah, so I'm not telling you my goals. Well, I guess I was coaching at this time. I would just train in the backyard at my parents' house when I was back in Canada, and I had like a sandbag or just like a bag of gravel. I had a place to do pull-ups off the back porch. I had a skipping rope, and I think that was pretty much it. Oh, I eventually got rings in the backyard. So me and my brother Trevor, I'd get him out there, and we'd train pretty hard, doing like squats, like cleans with the bag of gravel, pull-ups, push-ups, running down the block and back, all kinds of stuff. So Trevor didn't really train at all, and I was with the mindset at that time, if you wanted someone to have a good workout, you kind of had to kick their ass, so I was always like yelling at him to like go harder and keep going. And at the end of every workout, he'd always just go right inside, go to the washroom, and then I'd go maybe eat something, have a protein shake, whatever, and that would be that. So then one day, we were watching a YouTube video together. I wanted to show him, it was this guy doing deadlifts, and every time he pulled, he would just puke. He did it like 4 times in a row, just puked every time he locked out. And I was like, man, like I'm glad I've never puked when I throw up. And Trevor was like, what, really? He's like, I puke every time we train. So we've been training for like a month at that point. Every time we trained, pretty much, he was puking at the end, and he just didn't tell me. And I kind of learned from that if you want people to continue doing something, you have to kind of make it easy on them at first so they enjoy it, and they'll keep coming back. But I think I pushed him a little bit too hard. But he was really good. Like, he was getting strong, he got bigger, and he enjoyed it. So, yeah, Trevor was like the first person I coached. Made him puke every time.
Damn, man. And you didn't puke at all?
I've never puked training.
Never?
Never.
Damn, you have to have that experience, man.
Why?
Then you will know how your brother felt.
How what?
How did your brother felt?
Oh, how he felt?
Yeah.
I felt like puking.
Okay.
Training, but it's never happened.
Is there anything you want to add
To what?
to this interview?
That's it? That's all you got for me?
Yeah.
Let's get started.
Well, I can.
Today.
Today's your 1 year anniversary.
Our 1 year anniversary since we started going out.
Say what? You've been here for 4 months or 5? You told me.
Dating. He's talking about dating.
Oh, that's not kind of what I wanted to hear.
So, any other questions?
Yeah.
But in the end, it doesn't hold you accountable. Why does that hold you accountable? Just because you said something, people forget.
People do forget. But you yourself don't want to look like an idiot if you don't achieve that goal. So me telling you my goal, if you forget, I'm not going to know that you forgot. But I'm going to know that you know. And that's going to be like, shit, I'm going to look like an idiot.
You got to back it up.
One goal.
I have 3.
Oh, and another one is not to drink for 1 year. Yes. Well, not with that attitude, you can.
Damn, you got me.
I learning how to power clean or something like that, and I tried one weight and I got it, and then I went up and I missed it once, and I was just like, I can't do it. And the guy's like, yeah, not with that attitude. And I was just like,
So you did it again?
no, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I didn't get it.
Did you try it again or not?
But did you get it in your lifetime? Eventually?
Yeah. I think I wasn't even that heavy.
Okay, I see.
But at that time,
That was when Skinny Mark was alive.
Steve Mark, yeah. That was pretty shocking seeing those pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
I didn't know I had good progress pictures.
Yeah, you should fucking use that.
Yeah, pretty good.
Fuck yeah.
You got more stories?
Of course.
So, can you tell a story from your forest firefighter experience?
You were in a forest fire?
Huh?
You were in a forest fire?
Yeah, that was one of my jobs as a forest firefighter.
Oh shit, that's cool. I didn't
Yeah,
know
it was
that.
fun.
I think it's cool also, so I want to hear some stories.
I don't know. It's like, it's not the craziest job, really. Like, you get to do cool stuff. Like, you get to fly around in helicopters, and you get to be in the woods and like camp out for like a month at a time, just in the middle of nowhere. But really, for me, it was like the experience of doing it was really enjoyable, just because I met really interesting, different people than what I was used to. Because I grew up in the city, so to hang out with people who were from like the middle of nowhere was pretty funny. And yeah.
So basically, what you did in that job? What was your job?
So if there's a fire, we put it out.
Like,
You know what I'm
give us a picture. How does it look?
So we were on this one big fire in Buffalo National Park in the Northwest Territories, and we just were in this campsite in the middle of nowhere, camping out there every morning. You have breakfast, which for the first week we just had to make ourselves over a fire because they couldn't get cooks in. Then you get in a helicopter, they fly you out to the fire, you lay down a hose line, you spray at the fire, and then try and put it out. And then when the fire is out, you have to patrol around looking for hot spots because the fire, even though it looks like it's out, will continue to burn through the root system, through like underground.
It's dry out there.
Yeah, if there's a fire, it's got to be pretty dry. So you do that, you like dig it up and you'll spray it down, find those hot spots. But yeah, I don't know. You just put the fire out.
Okay, pretty simple.
Yeah, safe. In some cases, like probably the most dangerous part is flying around in the helicopters every day.
Not falling off of it.
No, not really.
Yeah, well, that's the most dangerous part. Not falling off the
It's
helicopter.
crashing the helicopter. Yeah. Besides that, you're pretty safe. Yeah, man, it was a good time though. I lived in a town of like I think 5,000 people, 10 hours north of Toronto, in the middle of nowhere. Got to see some cool stuff. I saw the Northern Lights. That was really cool. Yeah, because I'd seen them before, and it was decent. It was just like streaks of color across the sky. But we were way up north, so when you see them there, it's like the whole sky is different colors, like green and red, like swirling everywhere, lines shooting across the sky. Yeah, that was a cool experience. But yeah, it was a good job. Very good job. I would highly recommend it to anyone who is looking to embrace their inner wild side, which we
Great.
all have.
I'm listening.
I'm gonna give you mine as 22.
Oh,
No?
okay. Okay. Can you tell me what is your biggest achievement in life up until this point?
My biggest achievement in life?
Yep.
I think my biggest achievement in life is successfully not doing what other people would want me to do. So kind of, in a sense, realizing the fact that some parts of my life are self-determined in terms of like the idea of not fully having free will over what I do, but also realizing that I do have control over certain aspects of myself and being able to be in control of those. So like, for example, a lot of my friends kind of ended up just doing or just going with the flow of their life and not really taking control of anything. Whereas for me, I had the courage to do some things that are kind of unconventional, like coming down here to work at a gym,
Yeah.
but I didn't really know what I was getting into. I wasn't getting paid at first. I was living in my van for a little while. Like it seems normal for me. Like when I think of things like that, it's like kind of funny in my mind, and it seems normal, but like not a lot of people can do that, I don't think. So
Yeah.
for me, that's probably, I'd say that's my greatest achievement.
To doing what you want to do.
Doing what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say I'm fully at the place where I'm doing exactly what I want to do, but most areas of my life I really like and I enjoy. I'm doing what I want to do.
So, you're not satisfied fully with your position right now.
No.
What do you think is the most important thing in life? In your thoughts. It could be a physical thing, it could be like a spiritual thing, it could be anything.
good.
What do you think?
Looking good.
Looking good.
Yeah, looking good. If you don't look good at this point, man. The most important thing in life, realizing that there's more than what you see on a daily basis. Like, for example, the human race is really fascinated with space, justifiably so. Like, it's vast and amazing. We know very little about it, so the fact that it's mysterious kind of lends itself to us being interested in it. But at the same time, like, we probably know even less about ourselves and about how our brains work, about like our emotions and how we deal with them and like how we interact with other people and why we act the way we do on a day-to-day basis. So the most important thing to realize is there's a lot more going on inside than there is going on the outside. And most people just don't even think about that. But it's very valuable to know that. It will change your life.
I mean, Leonardo da Vinci said once, learn how to see, realize that everything connects. So, would you agree with that, or can you comment
there's
on that?
also an old Chinese proverb that says, know one thing, know 100,000 things. So I found that like the deeper I go into weightlifting, the more I become obsessed with it, and the more I just have it on my mind, and I get better at it, and I learn how to recover better, what I have to do to get better, the more I know about other aspects of my life. The more I learn the value of things like structure and discipline, like movement and enjoying yourself and passion, like all these things, you can learn through one medium and then just overlay that into other areas of your life. So if all you're doing at the gym is just training and you don't learn anything about the rest of your life, you're wasting your time, because to me that's like the point of training, is to learn about yourself and to learn about the world. So yes, I agree with you, for once.
Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together.